Okay guys, we are here today with Cloud and of course myself. Let's see if we can get this to actually work. Okay, so today we are riding Western, which means we've got all of our fancy stuff on. You can see that the Western saddle here is a bit different than an English saddle, which is what some of you might be used to. A couple distinguishing factors of that is it has a horn. So these are used primarily, what they originated from was roping and ranch work. It was a great place to tie off to when you got a calf. They're also great for beginners because they've got something to hold on to. Another thing we'll notice is a lot of the tack is a bit blingier. That's just Western for you. Our stirrups are also heavier. They're big, heavy, they're durable, they're meant to work. They're not meant to break if you fall off. Just don't fall off. As easy as that is to say. You've got fenders here instead of just the little elastic. This allows them to wear boots like what I'm wearing and not get it caught. If you've ever ridden in English with Western boots on, it is quite painful. So we've made the Western saddles are also a lot heavier. They've got a lot more leather. They're not made to be light and fancy and jump and stuff. They're again made more, it's kind of controversial, they're made a bit more durable, they're made a bit more heavy duty, just because a lot of the times when you ride Western, or originating Western was a lot more heavier duty work, like farming. As far as the bridles, they're quite similar. If you ride with me, most of you guys ride in Western bridles. They don't have a noseband most of the time. They're quite simple usually, unless you of course have the fancy ones. A lot of the times the bits have sweet iron or something. I'm using an English bit. It's just a Mylar with a D. And the saddle pads, which I'm sure you can't really see off of there, they're fit to the saddle. They're generally a lot thicker than English saddle pads. For instance, this one's about 1.5 inches. It's got foam and felt. Yeah. Girth's a bit different too, but you're not going to be able to see that. It doesn't have elastic on it. We instead use 2 strips of leather, the Latigos. And yeah, so me and Cloud are going to try and show you something. You're really just off of my phone camera here. So when you mount up your Western horse, a lot of us mount from the ground rather than a mounting block. However, I use a mounting block a lot just for ease. It's still easier on their back. However, for the sake of today, we will ground mount. Couple tips for ground mounting: you want to be close to your horse, even if you're on a saddle. You're using a mounting block, you should be right close to your horse. Right? If you're out here, you're really pulling on the saddle. Whereas if you're right up close, you see you're not quite as ricocheted. Probably the wrong word. So you want to stand right close facing your horse. Put your left foot up into your stirrup. You should hold your reins at all times. He might move a bit, that's just how he is. Okay? And you want to bounce up and over in one fluid motion. I don't really like seeing people bounce a hell of a lot because again, you are just pulling on the saddle when you bounce. So just hop right up and swing that leg right over. So, a couple things that are different in Western again is you've generally got slightly longer stirrups. Just it's a comfort thing, I think. It also helps give, we have generally a pretty wide range of motion of where we ask for cues. You generally don't hold your reins as tight. Let's see if we can back up a bit. Right? We don't have as much contact. We kind of let our horses' heads be where their heads be. He's a bit jittery today. He hasn't been really pulled out in quite some time. He's been sitting in a stall actually because we've been dealing with an eye ulcer, but the vet has okayed riding. So we're going to try and stay a bit in the frame here. Let's see if we can switch this. Okay. Oh, we seem to fall. So, generally, with Western, we want our horses' heads to be down fairly low. This helps them to stretch their back out and gives more of that Western look. Most of the cues are quite similar to English. We always want proper equitation, meaning you have a straight line from your shoulders to your hips to your heels. As I said, most things are going to be quite similar to English. I hold my reins the same. The only difference is some Western riders will neck rein, which is one hand, and you turn your whole horse's head, neck, and nose using that hand. So we're going to go around in a circle. He's not quite good at neck reining. It should just be a light touch. When we're training, I usually go up higher because it gives a bit of a more command. Again, usually if you are neck reining, you would use, again, a different bit. I direct rein with my horse just as he does both English and Western, and we haven't really worked on neck reining much. When we ride Western, we try to use a lot of our seat. You should be using a lot of your seat in English as well. And there are a couple issues that you find a lot in Western riding, and one of those is a couch seat, which is where you sit like you're sitting on your couch. I wonder if I can get it to turn a bit here. So a couch seat would be, you're sitting here, your legs are way up here. My saddle won't even really let me do that. Whereas you want to be straight. Another problem you fall into a lot with, especially more newer riders, is when they sit like this, right? So they've fallen forward. Now the problem with that is that when you're up front, this horse has a lot of weight on the front already with his head and neck. So when we fall forward, we are immediately pushing him forward onto the forehand, as we call it, which can result in them tripping and falling. This horse, for instance, if you are too much on the forehand, he is very, very sensitive to that. Now, sometimes when people lean back, you're not necessarily going into quite so much of a couch seat, but you could lean back a little bit, and I would call that more of a driving seat. So I call it that because it helps to push them forward using your body. So you don't want to, so you're up front, you're nice. If you just a slight tilt, he takes that as collect himself. A lot of my stuff isn't quite exactly how you're going to learn to ride Western. I ride kind of a mix of both. I believe that proper equitation is proper equitation, whether it is, whether you're riding Western or English. I ride both of them fairly similar. That being said, there are a few slight differences like stirrup length. These are a little long for how I would normally ride, but this saddle doesn't go any shorter, and I like how he moves in this saddle. I'm trying to think what else would be for the Western. Another thing you can look at is your saddle fit. To make sure your saddle fits, you want to make sure it's not pinching, just like any other one. You don't want it to go past his point of hip, which is right there, but you generally don't want it past this kind of line. This saddle's borderline a bit too long for him, but it's actually pretty good of a fit, I would say. If you have it too long, like if your saddle pad, instead of being where it is here, it fits back here, you impede the hips movement. And then the hips can't move. And Well, it's not good if the hips can't move, is it? You'll have quite a ride if you do that on some horses. So, that's about an intro to Western, I'd say, and of course you can ask me any questions and I will do my best to answer them. Yeah. Again, with getting off, I'll do that again because that's exactly what I don't want you to do. To get off, what I generally say is we're going to take this foot out of the stirrup, swing it around behind us, lay on the saddle, take this foot out that you can't see, this foot on this side, and hop down to the ground. But I want this in one fluid motion, again for the horse's back. So you don't want to be hanging onto the saddle and sliding down. Just push off and jump off. You're going to land, you're about a foot off the ground really. And said you're really not far off the ground. I have people who hold on for dear life and slide down. So realistically, my foot is right here. It's at hip height, so 2 or 3 feet off the ground. By the time you've taken your foot off and you're laying on the saddle, you're only about a foot off the ground. So that's about it. Hope that helps you all. And there's Happy Cloud. Look, he's happy when he's not looking at me. There you go. Toodaloo.